Hello everyone, welcome to a new video of the indicator store, and today I want to present a new indicator, the TIS ATR trend, which is in my opinion one of the most useful trend indicators. Okay, the ATR is proportional to the volatility, and as you can see, for example, this is a very volatile market, Nasdaq, on a 5 minutes, and you can see how impulsive are the movements. So it is very difficult to have an indicator that when the market is not moving is not showing fake signals, and when it is moving a lot it has a fast reaction. Now let's see how we can fine-tune the settings of this indicator, which, by the way, as we can see, it has all the plots available, including the trend and also the signals, of course. So we can automate those signals using builder, markers, NinjaScript, whatever. And also, as you can see, the last plot at the bottom is the trend. Okay. The maximum sensibility of this indicator, which is mostly defined by the ATR. We are using an ATR by default of 14 bars. And if we use 0, that will be not looking at the ATR at all. Of course, we get a lot of signals. Okay. And even more, we can make it even more sensible, because here the price must go completely on the other side of the current trend line to change the trend, but we can only need to close on the other side of the trend line, so more similar to what the super trend does. And in this case, we have even more signals. The mode, we are looking at the highs and lows, touching or not touching the trend line, or closing on the other side. Okay, so if we use the other method, we have more signals. Now let's take a look at the different settings that we can use. For example, changing the multiplier. If we look at 1 ATR, then we get this. If we can use a half of 1 ATR, okay? But for 1 ATR, using the standard method, no the method number 2, this is a system very robust. Here we can see that we have a strange signal, but also we can look at the, instead of only 4 bars, we can look at the 8 bars before. So we have even more consistency on the trend change. Of course, the minimum of this value is 1. The minimum, the maximum sensibility here is 2. And then, of course, using no ATR at all is this. Okay. But again, even if you want to use so crazy system, we can apply a filter. And for the filter, we look at the slope of moving average. On this case, it's an HMA of 50, but we can use whatever we want, 100 for example. And then when the line is going down, we only get short signals. Let's make it 1. Okay, so only shorts, only longs, only shorts. So it is very flexible. I prefer not using filter at all and then adjust the parameters. Okay, starting usually by the standard method 1, and then increasing the multiplier. For example, a multiplier of 2. And here we can see that we have some zigzags and we can decrease that zigzags, demanding more than 1 bar on the other side, because here we are looking at only 1 bar. Again, if we look for 8 bars completely on the other side of the trend, then we get something like this. And maybe we can make the ATR multiplier smaller. The smaller the ATR, the fastest the response. Instead of having the signal here, maybe we can make it faster. Or maybe 0.5. And now it is a lot better, because we have a signal here. And we can, of course, decrease this as much as we want, but then we start getting some fake signals. But again, we can filter those signals with something faster or slower. For example, 200 is something slow. Okay, so when it is going down, we get only shorts. For other bar types, for example, Unirenko, no? Maybe we can do 20, 10, and 10. Unirenko is a bar type that already has a logic inside to filter the trend. So it will be better if we make the system more sensible. So we can get a trend change, for example, this signal at the top. For that, because here the work is already done by the bar itself, so we can be less restrictive with the settings of this. We can try from the minimum, no ATR, only 1 bar, and worst case. Okay, so this will be the worst. The more sensible way. Again, a lot of signals. Maybe you want to try this. Again, you can filter, or maybe we can. Here we can see we have a short, long, short. Maybe just looking at 2 consecutive bars, that will be enough. So we can use 2 consecutive bars. Maybe 3, so we can avoid this. 3 consecutive bars. Okay, and now we can see it is really interesting. Okay, we can also add an offset. For example, here we have a break to the upside of maybe it is 1 or 2 ticks. No? So we can remove this, adding offsets. And for that we have the threshold. The threshold is in ticks, so we can try with 1, nothing, 2, maybe 10. Yes, with 10 we get rid of that. And there is no delay. Okay, so we want a break of the trend line with more than 10 ticks to the other side to have a trend change. And then of course we can add more conditions to avoid this change. For example, we can go back to the classic. So now we have more delay. Let's see what happens if we remove the threshold. And maybe look only at 1 bar. And we get again this one. Maybe 2 bars or 3 bars. But you can see each time I increase the number of bars, we have a delay on the signal. So maybe it is better to leave this on 1 and then add the threshold here, 10. Okay. Again, this indicator, it has a lot of options, even more when we have a time frame that is not filtering the price action. For example, a minute bar. No? And here is where it is more complicated to filter this on a trend. Again, I usually start by the 0.5 times the ATR, no threshold, the classic method, and more or less 4 to 8 bars. Okay, and now we can see that here we have some noise. We can remove that noise by the threshold. We only need to measure this distance, or increasing the ATR multiplier. The two options are possible. So increasing the multiplier, we can go to 1. Okay, no more signals. Let's go back to 0.5. Or include the needed threshold to avoid this change. The threshold may be 10 ticks. Let's try 5 ticks. Yes, 5 ticks is enough. But we have the short here. Maybe 10 ticks is okay. We get a delay. Maybe 20 ticks. Yes, with 20 ticks, we get a perfect long here. Okay, and a short. This short is not really good, but again, we can remove this short, this noise here. Maybe again increasing the multiplier. Let's see. 1. 8 bars. Yes, with 8 bars we have a well filtered trend detection. Okay, for more info, look at the description. We have pictures on the blog. And if you're interested, you can contact me on the chat room that we have on Discord. The instructions to log are on the description of this video. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.